Now, news is moving quick and fast, so it's not the 7th child, it is the 8th child who has been rescued so far. Now, this is very welcome news, and the big detail that we've been able to get throughout the day today on the basis of speaking to senior Thai editors who've been covering the story is that the children, when they come out, most of them, if not all of them, were sedated. So they came out and they were rushed to hospital in a sedated condition. Why might that have been required, and how exactly were they taken out of this area? First, let's just remind you of what it was all about. This is the area deep inside the cave, 4 kilometers away from the entrance where these children were located. None of these children can dive. Very few of them can actually swim. And for them to actually dive to get to safety would have been extremely difficult. It's something that you learn, it's something that you're trained in to dive, and even if you're wearing a full face mask, which makes it a little bit easier than what most divers wear, it's still a pretty traumatic experience if you aren't ready to, if you don't know what it feels like to actually dive. What's more, there were certain choke points as well, which meant that not only was there diving equipment, there was climbing equipment which also needed to be used. So there is one line of thought that these children were sedated before they started, and they were put into some sort of a device, either a mini submarine, people have been talking about it, or some sort of inflatable bag where oxygen was pumped in, and that they were semi-conscious or unconscious as they were moved in this direction with all of these divers. There were 2 divers for every child. Now, this is something that gives you an idea of the distance. 4 kilometers from the entrance to where the children were found. Many of these areas were flooded areas, and some areas where there was high ground as well. So at the high ground, the divers would take a break. Perhaps there'd be a replacement team to move the children towards the entrance. Now, this is what the original plan was. The original plan, and we really need to see if this is how it ultimately played out, because the Thai authorities have not been confirming things. It's just a little bit of information, nuggets which we are getting. Original plan was that the kids would have a full face scuba mask. The rescue divers would be carrying oxygen on their chest and on their backs as well to escort the children out. The fact of the matter is, this may have been proven to be extremely difficult and risky. It could have been safer if the children were unconscious, breathing okay, and quicker as well, because the pace at which these children are coming out, whether it is the divers or the kids in these bags, it's happening much, much faster. And poor visibility remains a huge concern in this area. So there you have it. The biggest concern is these choke points. In this particular area, it's approximately 15 inches that the children needed to traverse. So as I mentioned at the beginning, it's not just diving equipment, it is climbing equipment that they also require in areas. It's not over yet. The good news that we can tell you so far is that the children who have come out, the 4 yesterday, they're reported to be in okay condition. They've been kept in quarantine in hospital. And perhaps the most encouraging sign that things are okay is this: they're feeling hungry.